Hey, what's up guys, Sir Emanon here, and welcome to another episode of Inside DB Rated. This is the live commentary series where I go ahead and just spectate random matches on DB's ladder and check out what's happening in the metagames. So this is going to be a match between Yuchi Hongroi with 532 rating versus, oh gosh, this is probably in a different language and I won't be able to pronounce this, Walid Dance. I'm just going to call him Dance, who has 831 rating. But it looks like he's going first and is going to be put on Drytron, starting with a copy of Nova to summon in Alpha, or an Alpha from the deck. So we're going to go for a Link Hcabe and then activating Cyber Emergency. So just going to grab Zeta or Gamma, potentially, if he already has it. We'll see what the pick ends up being. But hand loaded up with Drytron names. We'll see if he has like any Ben 10s to sort of supplement it. Or if he's going to just have to rely on Alpha to search the Ben 10. He's going to search a copy of Delta. That's an interesting choice. So he probably has plenty of Drytrons in his hand already. Curious to see what the choice is going to be. Attributing away the Delta to activate Alpha's effect. That's going to add a copy. Oh, maybe there's a response. Skullmeister. Okay, so that's going to deny an immediate Ben 10 search as well as the body. So definitely not too bad, especially if Delta is the only Drytron name left over, or like if there's no way to get the Delta onto the board. I would suspect not, but we shall see. Three cards left in hand. Ooh, setting one and passing. Interesting. I also wonder what backer that could be, because a lot of people are cutting Imperm. Oh my gosh, wasting no time. And all of a sudden a copy of Sky Striker Ace Ray. Ray coming back. Alright, going into Hayate and straight into the battle phase. Going to attack directly. Doesn't matter if Link Hcabe is used or not. Yeah, he's just going to take the attack. And then go and send a copy of Shark Cannon. Then he's going to link for Kagari. Shark Cannon actually is like really sick this meta. Like it's super good this format. Especially against Drytron in particular. Virtual World not as much, because like you can't banish Qinglong with it, but you can still banish like maybe Nian Nian, or whatever they're trying to bring back with Lao Lao if you have a suspicion. But of course, since Lao Lao doesn't like it, chooses on resolution, like that's not as strong. But Shizuku going to be adding a copy of Hornet Drones after setting 3. One of them is likely the Shark Cannon. So very, very fascinating to see. Striker is still really popular in DB ladder. So I'm curious as to see what adaptations are made. We see the Skullmeister in the main deck as well. So just a lot of graveyard hate, which is pretty expected, just given the way the format is trending. I do feel like Crow will make a resurgence again pretty soon here. Just because like removing the Drytron is a lot more important long term if like your deck is reliant on grinding. Like if you can't close out the game right away, then like I think Crow is probably the better way to go as opposed to like Bell, for example. Because you really need to cut off the follow up. Oh my gosh, he just straight up admitted defeat. I didn't expect that. So I guess just no steam whatsoever, no Drytrons, no rituals, just none of that. That's kind of crazy to think about. But I guess that's just going to be the end of game 1. So we're going to move swiftly into game number 2. If you guys are enjoying this video so far, definitely be sure to leave a like as well as subscribe if you're new here and want to see more videos similar to this style. But Drytron going to try again going first. It seemed like Emergency plus Nova was a good start, but I guess the Meister was actually enough to stop his turn. And then couldn't play through the Shark Cannon plus whatever other interruptions. But we see the classic start of Alpha plus Ben 10, searching another Ben 10 off the Alpha, and then Ben 10 triggering. That's going to be negated by Skullmeister, so he's putting Dance on another Drytron name, and he has it with the Fafnir to grab Nova here. So this will be able to tribute the other Ben 10 in hand as well. I could grab maybe Zeta, and they can go for like the Union Carrier play after searching Medionis. So provided that this is the only interruption, this should be good enough here. Gonna summon Zeta. I would imagine he links this for Link Hcabe and then just goes and activates the effect. Or you can just go straight up for Union Carrier as well. That works too. Yeah, it doesn't really matter which order you do it in. I guess actually it could matter because you'll have, instead of a link rebuild, you have a Drytron name, which is another machine and another, just a target in general to add back the Meteorus. So it definitely could matter for sure. He's going to use Carrier right away to go for Dawn Knight on itself. And now we can go for the Zeta. So this can tribute the Bentham, search the Meteorus, grab a Surge off Bentham, and now Meteorus can just tribute away the Carrier, summon back the Bentham, send Gamma off the Dawn Knight, and then do just the rest of the plays from there. Pretty self-explanatory stuff if you're familiar with the deck from this point, which I suspect most people are by now. The build is becoming a little bit more standardized. Like there's like still differences between the Megalith build and like the regular non-Megalith build, I suppose. Like if you want to end like rank 4s and like Appaloosa, and like Megalith full for Bethor, or if you want to end in like Vanity's Ruler plus like Herald of Ultimateness, that's like another option, and like Herald of Orange Lights in hand. And he searched a Herald of Orange Light off this Benton here, by the way. So maybe that's what we could be seeing just as the end board. We might be seeing a Vanity's Ruler come down. So Meteorus Drytron went ahead and tributed away the 2k attack carrier. That summoned back the Ben 10, and then the Dawn Knight was able to send another copy of Alpha. Okay, that was a misclick, I would imagine, right? Because you definitely send not Alpha there. He's going to pick Delta instead. He already does have another Drytron name, so I guess it makes sense if he wants to, get another draw, as opposed to the additional Drytron body. Since, summoning off of Nova gets you a little bit further ahead. Meteorus Drytron adds itself back via its own effect. Delta can tribute the Bentham, summon itself, and reveal the Meteorus Drytron to draw. And now he can trigger the Bentham again. And then he can summon the Bentham back by using Meteorus Drytron. He can go for tribute summon a Vanity's Ruler if he searches it here, already has it in hand. And this is quite the strong setup. We'll speed this up a little bit here. Gonna grab Ava. Alright, so maybe he is going... Oh, he's going Manju, so not going for Vanity's Ruler this turn. Alright, so he's gonna search Herald of Perfection, not Ultimate Nest, so maybe he's on the pre-prep build as well. So he can Meteorus Drytron for the Herald of Perfection and just maybe sit on that. Instead of that with like Herald of Mirage Lights. Singing for a bit, let's go ahead and speed this up. Gonna activate a copy of Meteorus Drytron. Yeah, that is not once per turn. Only the the engrave effect is once per turn. This is one of the craziest ritual spells ever printed. Yeah, it's easy to miss that. I definitely missed that. When the first time I was reading this card, I was like, wow, this is crazy. You can only use that effective Meteorus Drytron once per turn? Wild. So, he's putting the Herald of Perfection here instead of in the zone Manji currently is, which could theoretically play into, what is it called, Geonator Transverser. So, I mean, that could force a Herald negation for free, depending. But, I mean, I doubt Striker plays this card, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Think about the matchup a little bit more. I wonder how well Striker is able to force the Herald. They could play like a good amount of board breakers too, so it's not horrible. He's thinking for quite a while. Let's speed this up. Alright, this is gonna pass. So not even ending on the Herald of Mirage Lights. I find that to be quite fascinating. He's gonna start with a copy of Rhoda. So we know Ava's in hand, and we know Herald of Orange Lights also in hand. I don't remember if we know any of the other cards. One of them was drawn off of Delta. I don't think we know the final card. Because the card he started off with was... It was, what, Fafnir, Alpha, Benten, and Manju. Yeah, we don't know the last card, I'm pretty sure. We can go ahead and check, of course, during the speed review at the end of it. But he's thinking... Spending quite a while thinking on a Rhoda. Gonna use a Herald of Perfection. Gonna chain Widow Anchor. He has another negation for sure because he has Ava in hand. Does he have another Widow Anchor? Shark Cannon on Ava. That's not bad because it does send for cost, so now this won't be able to trigger per the OCG changes that DB has adopted. Going to use Herald of Perfection. Oh, maybe the last card was Benton that we did know about. I'm not sure 100%. But going to use Droplet in response. That is showing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Channeling 7. That's really weird that he did all that, actually. Because he could have saved himself a lot of trouble by just using Droplet by preventing Herald from activating, right? Yeah, that's really interesting. Like, he could have gone like chain Droplet, send Rose, and they would have just had the Widow and the Shark there. Because the first one he sent was Herald of Orange Light, not Eva. So, yeah, I don't know. Really interesting. Right, so gonna normal summon Ray, go to battle phase, and he's in the start step here. What could he possibly have? There is no Linkuriboh. Curious. Very curious as to what this could be. Now, Striker could out this quite easily. Just going, like Afterburner, or you could like go Widow, take it, Link away. Oh, if that's the case, maybe it's worth like. Actually no, it's Zeta. It's like the one that has the least value after turn 1 when you resolve it. I really wonder what he could be thinking about at the start of battle phase without Linkuriboh. I really want to look at his hand now. I'll do that afterwards. Hayate, gonna be attacking. Sending Afterburner. Yeah, not surprising. Kagari add back Burner. And then pop the board. But he can't Shizuku for Shark Cannon, so there will still be Drytrons. Could definitely matter. He won't have any interruptions. He's going to search Hornet Drones for next turn. But yeah, if Dante is able to come back from this, then this should be a pretty clear line to victory. Because the way you do it is just Natasha, and that bypasses Ray completely. So you can just go for game, no problem. He's thinking. I really wonder what he could be thinking about. That makes me like very curious. Like, what could he be thinking about? I'm very curious. It's one of those things that's like, it's itching at me, you know? Like, I want to know, like, what quick effect does he have that he can activate at that time? That's why we go ahead and, you know, review the games just so we can see. Because he definitely has something. So emergency gonna add a Gamma. I think that was drawn for turn. That had to have been, right? Yeah, he would have used it. Gamma going to be tributed away for Alpha. And he's out of Bentens. But this can just easily search Natasha. Yeah, this is like very clearly how you win here. Medium is Drytron. Add back. Add a self back. Then you can like Delta, draw 1. You could Gamma, summon 2. And then, yeah, this is definitely just the end of the game. Let's go ahead and speed this up here. Yeah, Delta gonna tribute away Natasha. That works too. Yeah, he's gonna reveal Medianos to draw 1. You can also just Gamma here. Just to have like a whole bunch of Link fodder. He doesn't have to play around literally anything. He knows the card in hand is Hornet Drones, so like this should be like this. He shouldn't have to think too hard about this. I don't think personally. Like this should be like really easy. Gonna tribute away the Zeta off the Medionis to summon out Natasha. Just Link away, and then you use Natasha, steal, and just go for game. This deck doesn't usually play Borosword, but I mean, you can also just play Axis Code, and that's fine. Gonna go for Herald of Mirage Lights. And then going to Gamma, tribute away the, looks like there was the Alpha, and then bring itself and the Zeta out. I'm just saying next play here because, again, the Striker player literally has no responses, so there's like there's no suspense here. I just want to see what the Drytron player is doing. Ben 10, gonna be banished for the Natasha. Stealing Shizuku. He is playing Borosword. All right, cool. That's nice to see. And that is going to be it. The end of game 2. So, yeah, it was interesting that I think Striker could have held more resources if he just used the droplet right away, right? Yeah, it's very interesting to me that he chose to, because he had a monster that whole time. So like he could have held the Widow and the Shark, and that would have been quite nice. Would have had a lot more defense. But he's gonna go first actually in game 3. Huh, I am wondering if this is a blind first build. Gonna go for Shizuku after summoning Ray. Then end phase declare Shizuku. So set 1, probably just a lot of hand traps them. Gonna grab area 0. So Drytron is really good at powering through boards. So definitely interested to see how he's going to end up breaking this. Standby phase Cosmic Cyclone on the set. That's a pretty good start. Ooh, change a shared ride. Okay, so this definitely changes things because obviously Striker's going to be playing hand traps, and we saw Meister both games so far. So playing into this is pretty risky. So I do wonder how Dante is going to go about doing this. Just going to speed this up a little bit. He's spending quite a while thinking. He's going to pass, yeah. I think definitely you can afford to take the turn off. It's Striker after all. So like the chances they kill you are very low. So I don't think he feels too bad about that. Striker going to draw for a turn. Oh, going to go for multi-roll. And then area 0. And then area 0 target Shizuku. That's going to grab a Shark Cannon. Not a bad hit at all. Now he has to be... the Drytron player has to be careful about just putting resources in the graveyard. Area being targeted off the multi-roll. And then going to battle phase with Shizuku. Or sorry, Ray rather. Sorry, what? I don't know why I said Shizuku. Ray going to tag out into Hayate. That's going to hit for another 15. And we'll see a send. I am curious if he's going to go for maybe another copy of Shizuku. Or why am I saying Shizuku so many times? What? Shark Cannon. Holy God. Oh my, I don't even know. To be fair, this is my 3rd video recording today because I just want to get some videos out ahead of schedule since I have some things planned for the next couple of days here. By the time you guys see this, it'll be Thursday. Yeah, so I'm recording this 3 days in advance. So yeah, crazy, huh? But gonna be setting 1 and then going Shizuku to search Hornet drones. And he grabbed Widow Anchor, so opting not to set everything to play around Lightning Storm, I suppose. Harpy's Feather Duster. I think he set the Shark Cannon. That would make the most sense to me. So now we'll see what Drytron's able to accomplish here. God, I don't know why I kept saying Shizuku last turn. That's still funny to me. This is one of those times where it's like, I could edit that out, or I could like re-record, but it's just too funny. So I'm just gonna keep that in. Alright, Nova gonna summon out a copy of Delta from the deck. So this is pretty interesting. He's going for a low commitment, I would say, Drytron name, right? Like it's not one of the ones that you absolutely need to resolve, right? So he could just have a good enough hand to where it doesn't matter. So linking into Hcabe and then using Delta, this will definitely prompt some sort of at least thought, if not an actual response. But he's going to banish the Delta here. Interesting that he chose not to banish the Benten. Most of the rulings nowadays, the official head judge ruling for, I believe, the NA Remoto Extravaganza this past weekend was Benten doesn't trigger there because it's not in the same location where it would be activating, right? So yeah, like it moved locations from where it is like meant to be activated since what it was attributed for cost, and that's where it was located. Oh, but Ben's gonna be Meistered. But he has another Benton and a Zeta anyway, so all that doesn't matter. So even after that, he's gonna search for Meteonus and get a search off of the Benton. If there's like an alpha, that will be. Oh my gosh, there's an Ash as well. Okay, so that. Yeah, definitely don't need to set like the Widow Anchor if you, have two hand traps. Fair enough. So he has Widow and he has. What's it called? Area 0, I believe. No, wait. I forgot what he searched off Shizuku already. Wow, I literally totally forgot. I'm just blanking right now. But he turned his Zeta into a Relinquish Anima so that they're both darks to go in a carrier, and he's gonna use Dawn that way. That's pretty cool. So that's a nice little interaction to be aware of. Is that that can be an alternate way to go in a carrier if you're forced to go Linkuribo early. So he's gonna use the Meteonus Drytron that he picked up off the Zeta. That's going to tribute the carrier to bring back the Benten. Dawn now triggers. We have not used Alpha yet, so that's pretty important. Also haven't used Gamma. So 3 hand traps, or 2 hand traps rather, and a Shark Cannon, and still able to play quite good. I'm actually just gonna check real fast what was searched off Shizuku because now it's kind of bothering me. Let's see. Added a Hornet Drones. Okay, so yeah, we know Widow and Hornet Drones. Right, so Gamma gonna tribute the Benten, summon itself in the Zeta. Benten gonna search. Gosh, this is so strong. He has Meteonus to add back as well. It's crazy. Like, Natasha just clears Shizuku, like, bypassing Ray completely. That's insane to me. That's wild. Like, you can search Natasha here. You can Meteonus add back. You just like go Phoenix to clear the multi-roll so he can't like recycle. I mean, I guess that's why you have to search Hornet Drones, right? Is that like if you don't, then you just get cleared with no follow-up. Bino's adding yourself back. He added a Manju there actually, so going a different route. I guess he could add Natasha off this if he wants to, which is fair. Yep, yeah, that's definitely reasonable. All of that can be accomplished without normal summoning, of course, so might as well take the free body while you're at it. This could be game. Unless if there's like another hand trap. Maybe it could be Nibiru? I mean, it has to be the last card specifically, because we know Widow and Hornet, right? So Meteonus Drytron can tribute away this Zeta, summon the Natasha. Oh no, Natasha's 1000, right? Yeah, so Natasha could just be summoned with like this, even if it's reduced, which is cool. Natasha can gain 1000 life points by targeting the Zeta. Can link for Phoenix, can pop this. Can go Natasha. Going Cerberus instead. I guess Sword plus this is game. So yeah, Natasha gonna steal. Or it's Sword plus these two, right? It summons itself too, right? So it's like even more link materials. Yeah, so. And that is gonna be it. Looks like Drytron gonna be taking this match 2-1. Valiant effort by Striker for sure. So let's go ahead and do a speed review. Actually, I want to see what's in his hand. Or what's in the... Oh, it was another Widow Anchor. Okay. Yeah, I don't think that would have made a difference fundamentally. Oh, here to Purple Light in there too. Maybe anticipating Floodgates. Maybe we could have stopped like the Manju since he went that route and prevented Natasha. That could have actually mattered. So maybe like you could have set... Or you could have set one here. Yeah, I mean, if like your opponent has Lightning Storm, he's gonna fire it off anyway, so... Yeah, I mean, Drytron is like super good at breaking boards. That's why like I would feel a little more inclined to set, even though like Widow doesn't interact well with the Drytrons themselves, but you can stop Carrier too. That's like important. So here was game 1. Main deck Droplet is pretty interesting from Drytron. So Alpha. Oh yeah, his hand was not good actually. So that Meister was actually just good enough, straight up. Because he just couldn't make a play after that. That's kind of crazy. So that's what that back row was. It was a droplet. I was like, what does this deck possibly set? Because like this deck doesn't usually put back row. He's main decking Ice Dragon's Prison. That's pretty good. I like that. Go Hcabe. And then go Shark Cannon, add back. Double Shark Cannon's pretty good. Shizuku, add Hornet. Then pass, it was another Alpha. Yeah, he knows that there's a Shark Cannon. So, like, he knows that even if he attempts any Drytron, it just gets Shark Cannoned. This is the only thing that you contribute. And then there's just no follow-up after that. So, yeah. That's why I think he just scooped right here, right? If I remember correctly, just conceded. Alright, so... yeah, that's an example of, like, one Meister actually ending the turn. But his hand was, like, not very strong, to be honest. Had a couple of dead cards. Like, you hard drew the Emanon, which is not amazing in a lot of cases. But yeah, this hand definitely was able to just play through the singular Meister. So yeah, gonna go for Carrier. And then gonna go, yeah, this is just the same play that we saw. So we don't really have to like cover this too much. I think I mentioned this in the last episode of Inside DB Rated. I can't remember if it was that episode. Yeah, it definitely was. But I think decks like that want to grind more might see an evolution of switching to DD Crow. Because like DD Crow would have functionally done the same thing in game 1, where it would have banished the alpha that would have stopped the turn, and then like here, I guess like you think that it's more value negating the Ben 10, but like really the Drytrons being the follow up there is like really important. But either way, I don't think DD Crow would have like stopped his turn there either. But just like as a measurement of trying to reduce the follow up, that's like kind of a good thing to go by. So yeah, Rhoda here. Gets negated. He chains Widow. Oh yeah, so like backtracking a bit to what we had before. Actually, what was his hand? I want to see what his opening hand was. Gotta go all the way back. Cosmic Benton, Alpha Fafnir, and Manju. We knew these four. So he opened with the Cosmic, and then off the Delta, what did he draw off the Delta? He drew Benton. Okay, so yeah, we did not know these cards. Alright, so I was able to keep track of his hand. Again, this is something I like to do, is just like keep track of their hands. I failed in game 3 where I forgot what he searched off Shizuku, so I guess I get half credit. But yeah, it's a little mini game. But let's see. Hero to Perfection. Yeah, it's like, it seems weird. Like, why not just drop away from the start? I'm not really sure what he's playing around by doing it this way. Because like the first thing he sent with Herald was or Perfection was Herald of Orange Light. He didn't send Ava. Like I'd be more like I would understand more if like the first card was Ava. So we could like change Shark Cannon and then chain the Droplet. Because if he does it the other way, then it could like negate the Perfection. Because like this only prevents you from responding to this card's activation. So if you go Rhoda Chainlink 1, this Chainlink 2, pitching Ava, this Chainlink 3, and then Shark Cannon Chainlink 4, then this could be Chainlink 5, negate this, and Ava will resolve. But even then, that wouldn't matter if you can like clear the board. But like if that were to be the case, then I guess like you go Shark Cannon Chainlink 3, this Chainlink 4, this Chainlink 5, that stops the whole thing. But that didn't happen either. So like the fact that this was pitched, I really think you just go Droplet Chainlink 3, send away Rose, and then you're just good to go, right? You would have these two in hand. You'll have 2 spells in grave. You get Raid a hand. And you just do this play. Oh yeah, so I was wondering like this whole time what he was thinking, and he had a Cosmic in hand the whole time. He actually didn't set it. But he just said no effects to activate, so he just said thinking without having anything to use. Very interesting. He says thinking in start step, but he has nothing to use. Unless if I am missing something completely. Let's just check these real fast. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of interesting to me. You know what's funny, actually? This level reduction thing, I wonder if this has ever come up. It definitely has to have come up in like some VW matchups, right? Like there could be a case where you just like leave a Drytron on board, right? And just if you have Fafnir, like that could really mess over a VW world or VW player's turn. Something to think about. But yeah, went to Hayate, attacked over the Manju. See, but like his hand here could be really nice. It could be Widow and Shark. I mean, his hand would be Bent and Ava still, so I mean that would have changed things in that regard. But like, you could like end phase Shizuku for another Shark. Activate it. Get rid of like Alpha or Delta. And then set the Widow and the Shark, and then you have like more defense. But here he's forced to kind of just do it this way. Yeah, I don't know. I really think just using Droplet instead of going through the hoop of a Widow Shark would have been the better play. Unless there's something I'm completely overlooking. In which case you guys can let me know if I'm just totally missing something obvious. But yeah, the emergency. So let's think, right? The hand would have been here, Ava plus Benten, or sorry, Ava, Benten. He pitched this already, so that would be engraved. Ava, Benten, Cosmic plus it would have been hard. But I don't think he was dying this turn. So let's say like he searches the Gamma like he would have done. Well, no, but if you like end phase Shizuku, search Shark, and then Shark bash this, he might have to be forced to search another Alpha. Like that just changes the course of the game completely. But to be fair, again, he would have a Benten, and that would get another search. It's just tricky. It's hard to say. But I mean, you definitely just have more resources. Like, it's hard to say if he would have won, but he would have had at least more ways to kind of like combat this push. Because right now he just literally has nothing. So we don't have to. We already watched this, so we don't have to like focus on it. I already spent quite a while in this what I call it speed review, but yeah, we already saw all this, so we don't need to look into it too much more. What's done is done. So here's game 3. One first. Yeah, he just didn't really have a whole lot. So he had multi-roll as the last card. So yeah, area multi-roll, these two. Yeah, I thought it was area because I saw him search at turn 1, and then he searched Hornet the turn 3. That's why I got confused. Alright, just went past, yeah. I think that's fair. Like, again, you're not dying, so. You drew a copy of Widow, which we knew about. Picked up Shark, which is good. Send away Shizuku, send away area, battle phase, hit for 3k. Hayate send. Add off the Kagari. I think. Let's think about this. He already had a Widow. So. There's a world where you just search another Shark Cannon. Set both the Shark Cannons and the Widow. I mean, if you get blown up by Lightning Storm, you get blown up by Lightning Storm, right? Because, like, it's not a case where playing by Lightning Storm makes a difference. Because they're going to fire it no matter what. And then, like, either you have no defense at all, it's all in graveyard, or your defense is in hand where you're not using it anyway, right? And Drytron's a deck that can just kill you. So, like, at some point, you just gotta say, alright, if they have it, like, we lose the game anyways. It doesn't matter if we set 1, if we set 3. We lose to Lightning Storm. So, yeah, I think just committing here was the play. Searching Hornet here I think is fine. But yeah, I think personally, going Shark Cannon, off the Hayate searching it, because Shark Hand's amazing in this matchup, right? So double Shark Widow set seems really good. Like this helps you not die to what's it called, or not lose to, like, Union Carrier pushes. You could even wait all the way till Natasha. I mean, I probably wouldn't do that, but like, you could Shark Hand the Natasha, and that would be kind of crazy, right? But like between that's we would have 5 interruptions, right? Double Shark. I mean, I guess he felt safe with 3, but again, like, you're not really losing out. I guess, yeah, I guess like you're thinking you get Lightning Stormed and Ash Meister's enough, but I don't think necessarily that's even the case. Like, I get it happened in game 1, but his hand was really, really not good. But Drytron a lot of the time just can play through these no problem. Yeah, I don't know. So like, say instead of this purple light, it's like a lightning storm, right? And you have like these 5. Like these 5 are insane. Well, I mean, double Zeta is not good, but I don't know. Ashmeister definitely didn't, like, we saw Ashmeister didn't do enough. Like we saw these 3, like lightning storm aside, wasn't enough to stop the turn. So like you needed, like, it ended up being that he needed more than this for sure. But I mean, like, 3 interruptions is like a fair amount, so I understand it's like you don't want to like play into the, you know, side deck's back row hate, but no, I don't know. I just think Drytron is so good at breaking boards that you just need a lot of defense. Like, you shared ride to them, and then they didn't commit, so like that either means they completely bricked, or their hand is like complete gas and they just want to wait because you're on striker and you can't OTK. So it's like, I would bet on the latter, right? Because this deck has like infinite Drytron names: 3 Nova, 3 Fafnir, 3 Emergency, 6 ways to get to Ben 10, plus Manju, and then like a lot of the Drytrons themselves. Yeah, it's just so much consistency. It's like, it's so hard to actually brick in this deck, especially if they went second, they drew a 6th card, and then it passed, and then they're gonna draw a 7th card. Like, they have so many ways out of that, or out of their brick, if they did brick even. So yeah, I'm not commenting over the match because we already went over the match, but I'm just like talking more about like the kind of mindset behind plays here, and that's just it. So I think there could have been a couple of different plays throughout this match, but overall it's still pretty good. I think honestly it's so hard to navigate the Drytron matchup, just because like the cards that you need to stop it are so much different from the cards that are traditionally used to stop like what people consider to combo decks to be, right? So it's a weird adjustment, but I think it's a pretty good showcase of like what this deck does. This seems to be a relatively balanced build. We didn't see Randy's ruler, which I guess, to be fair, against Striker doesn't seem very good actually. So yeah, that's reasonable. But that's going to do for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like as well as any thoughts or feedback in the comments. Subscribe for more informative and competitive Yu-Gi-Oh content. If you want to, you can follow me on all social media platforms or support me via Patreon, TCG Player, all the links in the description as usual. And until next time, I'll catch you in the next video. See you guys.